Hello, friend, and welcome back to Torches, Yoga and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren, and I'll be your coach. So today I do have for you a flow I've created just so we can cultivate and regenerate our own energy. Some of us tend to think of our energy like a battery, that we've only got so much, and every time we expend it, we're wearing that battery down until we're just going to be depleted. But that's not the case, my friend. We generate energy. So this flow today will help you restore, reclaim, and regain some of your own energy. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my other video that came out this week, where we talk about the science behind our energy, little sneaky leaks and thieves of our energy, and other practices of how we can regain and restore that. But before we get into all that today, before we get into our yoga flow, I wanted to just talk with you for a moment. And I encourage you not to scroll on. This video is going to be maybe 20 minutes, maybe 25. Kind of doubt that, but honor yourself. Honor yourself by giving yourself this time to nourish yourself and pour into yourself. I call you friend, not because I don't know each one of your names. I don't, but I call you friend because I see you. I acknowledge you and I accept you as you are here right now today. Not who you're trying to be, not who you were, but who you presently are today. And as my friend and as your friend, I'm here to be honest with you. I'm not here to sell you the fluff. I'm not going to portray some perfect aesthetic image and tell you that you'll attain this by doing these practices I give you. I'm here to show you the real me so that you can reach in and be compassionate and accept the real you. Sometimes growth, sometimes our journey, it's not always pretty, and that's the beauty of it. All right, my friend, I've chattered on enough. Let's get into our energizing yoga flow. But first, remember, we're going to talk about how we're going to transition through some of the modifications. During today's flow, we're going to be hitting some plank poses, some tabletop poses for cat-cow, and some lunges and some deeper lunges called lizard. So if plank pose isn't for you, you're going to take those opportunities and those portions of the flow down in tabletop. So instead of being on our push-up position, we're still going to have the same foundation. Our wrists are going to be stacked under our shoulders and our knees stacked directly under our hips, squaring with our feet, tops of our feet on the mat, as opposed to in a push-up, you would have your toes curled under, of course, holding you up. One of the transitions that can be difficult and make it hard to keep up with the pace of a flow during a guided practice is going from tabletop instead of plank to Cobra. So Cobra from plank pose, we chaturanga down and we lift up. But when we're in tabletop, we just, what? How do we? I gotcha. So when we're going to make that transition and we're holding our plank maybe for a few breaths and we're ready to transition up into our Cobra, we're going to bring ourselves down to our elbows on our forearms, shift a little bit forward, and extend our legs out from underneath us. Then we can bring ourselves down to the mat and inhale, rise up into our Cobra or upward facing dog. I think we talked about this in another video with tabletop and with our props. If being on the ground, being on the mat on your knees hurts, remember, place a blanket under your knees to give it just a little bit of extra padding so it's comfortable. Since we are going to be doing the lunge poses and the deep lizard poses, I would also recommend maybe having some blocks nearby. Again, even when we're doing a plank, I much prefer to do my plank on my blocks, because then when I'm going to go forward and down into my Cobra, it's a lot less tension and a lot less strain on my shoulders. And I've got a shoulder injury, so sometimes I need those props so that I can actually work my body in a way that's going to nourish it instead of injure me. All right, so pigeon pose. We're going to get into pigeon pose today. And for this one, we want to make sure when we're down in the position, our hips don't tilt to one side that we're on. We want to keep them square toward the front of the mat. Get my blocks out of the way here. So to do that, I'm going to keep my rolled up blanket kind of close by. And let's say we're working through our flow, and I've cued you to bring your right knee up, and we're going to sink down into our pigeon. Now, we don't want to sink over too far, so I'm going to bring that rolled up padding blanket, tuck it under my hip right there, and now I've got that supported squareness so that I can really feel the stretch through my hamstrings, through my thighs, in my hips, everywhere it's supposed to be and nowhere it's not. When you're working your pigeon pose, you can either have your foot pulled out to where it's comfortable. If you can get to that 90-degree, wonderful. If that's not comfortable, you can leave it tucked in as close to the groin as you need to. I've chattered on enough. If you will, meet me in the center of your mat. We're going to begin today's flow in easy pose.
All right, friend, let's begin seated in the middle of the mat in easy pose. Take a nice deep inhale and a long exhale. We'll take 3 full breaths to pause and set our intention for this practice, to check in with our bodies and align our movements with our needs and our breath, so we can boost our energy from the inside out. Feel your sit bones grounded and supported by the earth beneath you. Gently roll the shoulders up and back twice more, clearing any tension. Now let's reach one arm up and over for a gentle side stretch. Nice and long, come back to center. And the other side. Big breath as you lengthen and exhale to soften. Wonderful. Come back to center. Now slowly roll forward over the feet and turn to face the long edge of your mat, coming into tabletop. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and we'll flow through 5 breaths of cat and cow. Inhale, belly drops, heart opens, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, press the mat away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale gently, wake the spine up. Exhale, feel the stretch between the shoulder blades. Last inhale, open and expand. Final exhale, curl, contract, and center. From here, curl your toes under and step the right foot forward into low lunge. Lift through the chest as you inhale and press up slightly, grounding through the feet. Bring both hands to the mat and step the right foot back, coming into a strong plank, core engaged and our breath steady. Step your left foot forward for a low lunge on the other side. Breathe into any tightness, creating space. Step back to plank or lower to forearm plank. Hold here for 5 breaths. Inhale, strength. Exhale, relaxation. Inhale, strength. Exhale, confidence. Inhale, strength. Exhale, gratitude. Inhale, drawing that energy in. Exhale, releasing stagnant energy. Now, friend, shift slightly forward, lengthening through the heels and crown. Feel the strength of your body, and on your exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Press the hands into the mat. Inhale and lift the heart into Cobra. Shoulders slide down the back. Exhale, release. From here, friend, take a nice deep inhale, and on our exhale, we're going to press back to plank or tabletop. Set the right foot forward, hands inside the foot, coming into lizard. Lower the forearms if that feels accessible. Take a few breaths here, rooting into Mother Earth. Inhale, draw energy up through the spine. Exhale, sink and soften, releasing what's stagnant. Reset the hands, step back into plank. Shift forward, exhale, lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale, press to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower to the mat. Press back to plank or tabletop. Step the left foot forward, hands inside, lizard on the left side. Drop the forearms if you would like. Breathe bright energy into the hips. With each exhale, let go of what no longer serves you. All right, friend, reset your hands to the mat. Take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, step back and press all the way up, hips high, into downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide, rooting through the index fingers and thumbs. Externally rotate the upper arms, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Keep a micro bend in the elbows if needed. Tailbone reaching up and back. Heels stretched toward the mat or pedal the legs out, flowing with your breath. Engage your inner thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. On our next exhale, bring the right knee forward between the hands for pigeon. Adjust the shin and hips to find comfort and stability. Support the right hip with a blanket or block if needed. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale to surrender. Feeling openness in the hips and lower back. One more inhale to lift. Then on this exhale, press back into your downward dog. Pause here for a moment. Feeling your center. Feeling your strength. Bring the left knee forward. Right leg extends behind you. Hips square. Inhale, lengthen the spine like a sunflower reaching for the sun. Exhale, fold forward, surrendering with grace. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, fold forward again. One last rise. Shift onto your seat and bring the right leg around, foot outside the left thigh. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, twist and bring your right hand behind the left elbow to go outside of the knee. Here we're in the half Lord of Fishes. Gaze over the shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here. With each inhale, the spine lengthens. With each exhale, we go a little bit deeper into the twist. Bring your gaze back to the front and then let your shoulders follow as you return to center. Lean back a bit to switch the legs. Left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale deep, reaching tall, stretching that spine up. Exhale, twist from the core. Breathe here. Notice how the breath travels through this spiral of your spine. Few deep breaths here. Each inhale, the spine lengthens, and with each exhale, we find a little bit deeper of ourselves into that twist. On this inhale, as you're ready, bring your focus and your gaze back to center, and then let your shoulders and everything else follow. Slowly unwind. Release the legs into bound angle, soles of the feet touching, knees wide. Grasp your feet. Inhale, lift and extend the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Flow here with your breath, rising and softening. Inhale, rising. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising this time, coming all the way back to center. Friend, sit tall and extend your legs, lifting your feet and arms into boat pose. Let's play here for a moment. Exhale, lower to low boat. Inhale, lift to high boat. Exhale, low. Inhale, high. One more round. Exhale, low and high. Hold this V shape and smile if you can. Lower the legs back down to the mat into a pike pose briefly, then slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time to lay down on our back, bringing our heels near the glutes. Inhale deeply. Exhale, press the hips up for bridge pose. Pulse at the top. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press and pulse. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release. Last round. Inhale, pulse. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, gently release all the way back down to the mat. Bring your feet out a little wider now. Let the knees fall to the side. Follow your breath, left and right, back and forth. Feel the ebb and flow. 5 or 6 rounds here following your breath. Let the lower back soften and the hips release. Today, friend, we'll finish in seated. Return to easy pose where we began. Roll to your side, then gently press yourself up to center. Hands resting on the knees, palms up to receive new energy, or at the heart center to connect with yourself. Feel the connection of your sit bones grounding you. Spine tall but easy, not rigid. Shoulders and jaw relaxed. If you're comfortable and feels right to do so, please feel free to close your eyes as we enter our corpse pose, our Shavasana section of our yoga flow. With each inhale, welcome in fresh energy. With each exhale, release tension from the body. If it feels supportive, repeat with me. I am here. I am whole. I am enough. I am here. I am whole. I am enough. I am here. I am whole. I am enough. Let these words settle within your being. Let them become a part of who you are, an understanding of yourself. Before we begin to come back to this space that we're in, offer gratitude inward. Thank yourself for showing up for you today. Thank yourself for investing time in you today. And my friend, thank yourself for nourishing you today. Begin deepening the breath. Add soft movement to the fingers and elbows. Roll the shoulders, sway the spine. As you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open, returning to this space with me, energized and ready for what's next.
Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me and a piece of your practice. And thank you for showing up for yourself today. Save this video to your playlist to come back to time and time again when you need to tap into your own body for that extra boost of energy. If you haven't already, check out that other video I've got on energy where we talk about how we can reclaim it and those sneaky leaks that steal it from us. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future uploads. My friend, thank you for joining me today. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.